Stop sacrificing your inner peace for a paycheck. You've been lied to. They told you success requires constant anxiety, endless proving, and the approval of people who don't even know your name. That era is over. This is not another motivational lecture. This is a reset button for your professional life. We are cutting through the noise to give you the 5 laws of modern Stoicism, principles forged in ancient times, but built for your brutal 21st century career. If your career feels like a cage, this audiobook is the key. The time for trying is done. The time for knowing has begun. Welcome to Chapter 1. We start here because this is the bedrock of all professional power. If you master this single concept, you shatter 90% of your career stress. The lesson is brutal and liberating. The only thing you control is your decision. Let's talk about the control dichotomy. This is the single most important Stoic lesson, forged in the fires of ancient philosophy, but built for your brutal 21st century career. You must draw a clear, sharp line in the sand between two things. What is within your power? What is outside your power? Look at your professional life right now. You are stressing over a client's mood. You are losing sleep over a promotion decision made by a committee you can't influence. You are panicking about the global economy or the shifting market. Stop. Everything outside that line is noise. Your boss's opinion of your work, outside your control. The company's financial quarter, outside your control. The traffic that makes you late, outside your control. What is within your power? Your effort today, your response to the bad news, your character when a colleague insults you, your decision to get up tomorrow and execute with integrity. You have a choice. That's the key. This is not about wishing things were different. It's about discovering where your true power lies. You waste countless hours and precious mental energy fighting battles you can never win. You don't need their permission to be excellent. You don't need the market to approve your effort. The internal report card now, let's redefine success. Most professionals judge their worth by external metrics. A promotion, a bigger bonus, a fancier title, a new office with a better view. They use the external report card to measure their value. This is a trap. This is a path to perpetual dependency. You must stop judging your worth by these external, arbitrary metrics. Your true measure is internal. It's the internal report card. The Stoic principle is clear. The outcome is up to fate. Your action is your virtue. Your goal is not the outcome. Your goal is simply the execution. Did you prepare thoroughly? Did you deliver your work with maximum diligence? Did you treat your team with respect, even when the pressure was unbearable? If the answer is yes, then you have succeeded. It doesn't matter if the project was later canceled. It doesn't matter if the client was unimpressed. Your action is your virtue. Focus on your process, not the prize. It's not about achieving a title. It's about earning your self-respect. You have a choice every single morning. You can choose to be frantic, or you can choose to be focused. You can choose to seek validation, or you can choose to simply do the work. You don't need their permission to be a person of character. You already possess the means to be disciplined, focused, and effective. The only thing missing is your decision to use them. The anxiety loop killer. Now let's apply this directly to the poison of workplace anxiety. Most professional anxiety is the direct, predictable result of caring too much about what you cannot influence. It is the anxiety loop. You worry about an external event, which causes stress, which harms your ability to act, which makes you worry more. It's not about being fearless, it's about being rational. You must create an instant aggressive defense mechanism against this loop. It's a simple four-word phrase. We will drill it until it becomes your instant defense against fear and external judgment. The phrase is, that is not my business. The gossip about your colleague, that is not my business. The boss's bad mood during the meeting, that is not my business. The competitor's unexpected success, that is not my business. This is not rudeness. It is radical self-focus. Every time you waste mental bandwidth on what is outside your sphere of influence, you are committing theft against your own professional capacity. You are stealing focus from the things that actually matter. Your current task, your effort, your response. When a stressful email lands in your inbox, pause. Ask the fundamental question, what is my decision here? If the email is demanding something you cannot instantly change, e.g., the client is unhappy with the entire market, the deadline moved up a week, your decision is simply this: I will respond with calm, and I will do the best I can with the time I have. That's the key. You have a choice. You can let the chaos of the world infiltrate your mind, or you can build a fortress of rational action. It's not about being stress-free, it's about choosing your response to stress. Your task is simple. Start shrinking the circle of what you care about. Focus your energy only on what you can do right now. You don't need their permission to ignore the noise. You need the discipline to enforce the boundary. This law is non-negotiable. You can either be a puppet to external events, or you can be the master of your own internal world. You have mastered your focus. You now understand the line between effort and outcome. Now we must address the most expensive resource you spend daily. We must look at the toxic, draining energy you leak every single time you react to noise. The time for reaction is over. The time for control has begun. Chapter 2. Your emotions are not data, they are reaction. You mastered the first law. The only thing you control is your decision. But what happens when that control is instantly challenged? It happens the moment a surge of emotion hits, the moment you feel the spike of anger, the tremor of panic, or the sting of frustration. In the modern career, these feelings are a liability. They cost you millions in lost opportunities, broken relationships, and shattered clarity. Here is the truth. Your emotions are not data, they are reaction. They are not facts about the situation. They are just raw, unexamined energy. You must stop treating them like a reliable source of information. They are the noise. They are the enemy of your professionalism. The immediate reaction tax. Let's discuss the immediate reaction tax. When you react instantly, when you fire off the angry email, when you snap at a direct report, when you panic in the boardroom, you pay a heavy price. This tax is paid in 3 currencies: clarity, respect, and future opportunity. Anger, frustration, and panic are expensive in a professional setting. They cloud your judgment. They degrade your authority. They make you look weak and unreliable. It's not about hiding your feelings. It's about eliminating the damage they cause. A delayed rational response is always cheaper than an immediate emotional one. Always. You don't need their permission to be upset, but you need the discipline to be silent. Your emotions are not a mandate to act. They are a warning light demanding a pause. Your job is not to feel less. Your job is to quarantine the feeling immediately and prevent it from influencing your decisions. The problem is not the feeling itself. The problem is your decision to act on that feeling. You have a choice. That's the key. The pause and reframe. So how do you quarantine that raw energy? You install a non-negotiable step, the pause and reframe. You must practice the 3-second pause before you speak, before you hit send on an email, or before you sign a critical document under pressure. That pause is your moat. It is your ultimate defense. During that 3 seconds, you run the reframe protocol. You interrupt the emotional cascade with a forceful, internal declaration of truth. When your blood pressure spikes because a client just rejected your best work, you don't say, "I'm ruined." You say, "I am not the feeling. I am the observer of the feeling." When you feel panic because a deadline just moved up, you don't say, "I can't do this." You say, "I am not the panic. I am the mind observing the panic." This is the central transformation. You shift your identity from the actor, the one who is angry, to the observer, the one watching the anger. It's not about curing the emotion. It's about strategically delaying the response. The moment you become the observer, you create space. In that space, rationality breathes. In that space, you see that the email is a problem to be solved, not a personal attack to be avenged. You don't need their permission to feel the burn. You need the discipline to delay the action. The indifference drill. Finally, we address the relentless, petty drain of office life, the slights, the gossip, the political games. These are energy sinkholes. They are designed to distract you. The Stoics called it apatheia. Not emotionlessness, but strategic indifference. It is a declaration that certain things simply do not rise to the level of deserving your energy or focus. You must execute the indifference drill daily. A colleague steals credit for your idea? Strategic indifference. Your team lead makes a sarcastic comment about your work? Strategic indifference. The office politics shift and someone you dislike gains power? Strategic indifference. Your energy is a limited, non-renewable resource. Do not waste it on the insignificant. When you engage in the drama, when you fire back with a defensive email, you are legitimizing the noise. You are giving power to the very things that seek to derail you. Your job is to be the rock in the stream. Let the muddy water flow around you. How do you apply this practically? By drilling the phrase from chapter 1, "That is not my business." The second someone tries to pull you into a gossip circle or a political fight, your response, internal and external, is indifference. It's not about being ignorant of your surroundings, it's about choosing what to value. If a situation does not directly impact your ability to act with virtue, integrity, and diligence, it does not deserve a single calorie of your mental life. This is the core of the second law. Emotions are powerful, but they are not the boss. They are just the mailman delivering a message. Your job is to rationally read the letter, not shoot the messenger and burn down the post office. You have the power to stop. You have the power to observe. You have the power to choose indifference over entanglement. You have a choice. We have established the boundaries of your power and the discipline of your response. But power is nothing without purpose. If you are constantly seeking validation from the outside, you will always be poor. It's time to stop proving your worth to others and start building it for yourself. Chapter 3, Stop Proving and Start Doing. You have secured your professional power by defining your circle of control. You have protected your focus by refusing to let your emotions dictate your actions. Now we eliminate the single biggest drain on your time, your energy, and your self-respect: the need for external validation. The law is simple. Stop proving and start doing. Look around your office, look at your industry. You see professionals addicted to the approval of others. They chase likes on LinkedIn. They angle for public praise in meetings. They delay action until they are sure a superior will notice the effort. This is the ultimate self-sabotage, the validation trap. You are caught in the validation trap, seeking approval, seeking praise, seeking a pat on the head from colleagues and superiors. This is a guaranteed path to professional misery. Why? Because it makes your worth entirely dependent on fickle, unreliable, and often uninformed opinions. The moment you start working for someone else's applause, you stop working for excellence. You shift your focus from quality to optics. You prioritize looking good over being good. This is a fatal flaw in the modern career. You are addicted to proving. It must end. Stop thinking of your career as a performance you must constantly validate. It's not about seeking applause, it's about establishing competence. Understand this. The people whose approval you crave are usually too consumed with their own need for validation to truly appreciate yours. You are running a race against yourself, but you keep trying to win a popularity contest run by judges who aren't even watching. You have a choice. You can continue to chase that fleeting hit of external praise, or you can build an internal reservoir of confidence that no one can take away. That's the key. The agent of virtue. The Stoic principle reframes your entire professional mandate. You are not an employee seeking a reward. You are an agent of virtue executing a mission. Your only job is to execute the work with excellence, honesty, and consistency. That's it. Full stop. This must be your new professional mantra. I execute with virtue, regardless of whether anyone is watching or applauding. Imagine you are working on a massive, complex project that will never see the light of day. Will your effort be less? If your answer is yes, then you are still stuck in the validation trap. Your effort should be the exact same, because your value is established by your action, not the public acknowledgement of that action. It's not about getting credit. It's about being credible. Your internal report card, the one we talked about in Chapter 1, must be the sole judge of your success. Did you cut corners? Did you rush the quality? Did you mislead a colleague? Only you know the true answer. That is the only judgment that matters. You don't need their permission to stop seeking their approval. You need the discipline to focus solely on your output. Stop with the self-promotional rhetoric. Stop updating every tiny win on social media. Stop waiting for the CEO to mention your name. Let your work ethic speak for itself. Let your results be the quiet but undeniable evidence of your worth. Focus on the craft. To successfully stop proving, you must forcefully redirect your attention. You must anchor yourself to your craft. We implement the focus on the craft drill. At the start of every day and before every task, you must anchor yourself to this core question. Does this action align with my highest professional standard? This question is your gatekeeper. It eliminates all the wasteful energy spent on appearances, office politics, and self-promotion. If the action is aligning the bullet points in your presentation for maximum clarity and value, the answer is yes. Proceed. If the action is spending an hour drafting a passive-aggressive email to subtly demonstrate your superiority to a colleague, the answer is no. Delete it. If the action is putting in the difficult, unsexy groundwork for a project that will take months to pay off, the answer is yes. Proceed. If the answer is yes, then the action is its own reward. The result of acting with virtue is a higher quality product, a clearer conscience, and an undeniable increase in your professional capability. It's not about being arrogant. It's about being ruthlessly self-sufficient. You are building a house. You can spend your time standing outside painting the windows to impress passers-by, or you can spend your time ensuring the foundation is flawless. The choice is always yours. The Stoic chooses the foundation. Embrace the joy of unobserved excellence. Let the work itself be your applause. Let your internal standard be the only metric that drives you. The moment you stop needing the praise of others, you become truly formidable. You have now established the boundary of your power, the control of your response, and the true source of your worth. But a great career, like a great life, is defined by how you handle what goes wrong. You must stop fearing the setback and start seeing it for what it is. Chapter 4. The obstacle is the assignment before we continue. If you have never subscribed, please do. Where to subscribe? Let's continue. Chapter 4. The obstacle is the assignment. You have defined your power. You have disciplined your reactions. You have anchored your worth in your actions. Now we confront the single most powerful force that separates the exceptional professional from the mediocre one: failure. Most people see a setback and retreat. They see a mistake and panic. They see a difficult challenge and quit. They see a red flag, but the Stoic sees a green light. The law is absolute. The obstacle is the assignment. Every barrier in your career, the unexpected budget cut, the project that exploded, the client that walked away, is not a sign that you should stop. It is specific, necessary training delivered by the universe. Say it with me. The obstacle is the way. The fatal flaw of wishful thinking. Your natural instinct is to engage in the fatal flaw of wishful thinking. You wish problems away. You pray for the easy path. You tell yourself, if only this one thing hadn't happened, I would be successful. Stop that noise. That kind of thinking makes you soft. It makes you brittle. It strips you of your true professional strength. Every failure, every mistake, every unexpected piece of bad news in your career is not a stop sign. It is a diagnostic tool. It tells you exactly where you are weak. It tells you exactly what you need to learn next. The setback is the curriculum. The difficulty is the lesson plan. It's not about avoiding problems. It's about embracing the growth that problems guarantee. You don't need their permission to fail. You need the discipline to extract the lesson from the failure. You have a choice. You can whine about the difficulty, or you can dissect it and use it to become stronger. That's the key. A career defined by avoiding resistance is a career devoid of strength. You must actively hunt for friction. You must welcome the pain of difficult learning, the creative constraint. We must fundamentally change how you view hardship. Stop seeing a difficult problem as a punishment and start seeing it as a creative constraint. The toughest colleague you have, they are a constraint forcing you to master patience and strategic communication. The impossible deadline, that is a constraint forcing you to prioritize ruthlessly and eliminate inefficiency. The unexpected market rejection? That is a constraint forcing you to innovate or die. The tougher the problem, the more profound the lesson hidden inside. It's not about removing the constraint, it's about mastering your creativity within it. Think of a difficult client. You can complain or you can ask, what specific skill, communication, negotiation, boundary setting, must I master to navigate this relationship successfully? The client isn't the problem. The client is the assignment designed to teach you a skill you currently lack. This applies to internal failures too. You made a costly mistake on a major report. It's not about shame, it's about analysis. You ask, what system failed? What step did I skip? How do I install a foolproof process to ensure this error is impossible next time? The mistake wasn't a personal flaw, it was a system deficiency that you now have the clarity to fix. This transformative shift eliminates paralysis. When you view the obstacle as the necessary assignment, you move from the emotional state of why me to the powerful declarative state of what now? You have a choice. Premeditatio malorum, premeditation of evils. To execute flawlessly when a crisis hits, you must prepare before the crisis even appears. We use the Stoic practice known as premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This is your proactive defense against the shock of setbacks. Spend 5 minutes each morning contemplating what could realistically go wrong in your professional day. This is not pessimism, this is rational planning. What if a major deal falls through? Your plan: I will call the team together, acknowledge the loss without emotion, and immediately retask everyone toward the next best opportunity. What if a key member of your team suddenly quits? Your plan: I will confirm the departure with dignity, assign temporary coverage for the critical items, and calmly begin the hiring process, knowing that a constraint forces me to streamline. What if you are unfairly criticized in a public meeting? Your plan: I will take the 3-second pause, ask one clarifying question, and refuse to become defensive, relying on my character, not my reaction. By mentally facing the worst-case scenario and developing a rational, ethical response, you steal its power. The shock factor is eliminated. When the crisis actually arrives, it feels less like a catastrophe and more like a situation you have already trained for. You prepare for the worst so you can execute at your best. It's not about being surprised by hardship. It's about being prepared for certainty. Hardship is guaranteed. Your disciplined response is not. Embrace the difficulty. The road to exceptional competence is paved with resolved obstacles. The greatest professionals are not the ones who avoid failure. They are the ones who turn every setback into an exponential leap forward. You have learned to see the setback as necessary. But to endure the long game of a difficult career, you must stop craving safety and start demanding true self-respect. The greatest risk to your professional future is the endless pursuit of comfort. Chapter 5. Stop seeking safety, start seeking character. You have learned to control your mind. You have learned to channel obstacles into growth. Now we must dismantle the single most seductive lie of the modern professional life, the promise of absolute comfort. The law is clear: stop seeking safety, start seeking character. Your instincts, the ones shaped by a soft society, are screaming at you to find the easiest route, the path with the least resistance, the job where you are never challenged, never criticized, and never forced to stretch. This pursuit of absolute safety is the enemy of professional growth. It is the death of virtue. It is the guarantee of stagnation. A soft life makes a soft character. A career defined by comfort is a career defined by wasted potential. You must embrace the friction. You must welcome the heat. It's not about being reckless. It's about being resilient. You don't need their permission to stay small and safe. You need the discipline to seek out the difficult work. Look at where you are currently seeking safety. Avoiding the client with a reputation for being tough, refusing to learn the complex new software, staying silent when you should offer honest, critical feedback. Every time you choose ease, you sacrifice a piece of your professional strength. You have a choice. The comfort delusion. This quest for ease is the comfort delusion. The modern career promises a smooth ascent, a ladder where every rung is perfectly aligned and safe to step on. That promise is a lie. True professional competence is forged in the fire of genuine challenge, where things are messy, where failure is possible, and where your reputation is actually on the line. When you refuse to be challenged, you fail the most important audit, the character audit. You prove to yourself that your primary value is avoiding difficulty, not mastering it. Think of a sword. A sword is only useful after it has been violently hammered, folded, and plunged into extreme heat. If it stays safe in the forge, it is just a lump of metal. You are that metal. Your career is the forge. It's not about avoiding pain. It's about demanding the necessary friction. That's the key. Your ability to handle volatility, criticism, and setbacks is the single most valuable, non-replicable asset you possess. You cannot develop it by staying safe. You develop it by deliberately stepping into the unknown. Voluntary hardship. The Stoic antidote to the comfort delusion is voluntary hardship. You must deliberately choose the more difficult path in your work. You must actively engineer challenges for your own professional growth. Choose the hard skill. Stop relying on your current competence. Deliberately take on the project that requires you to master a complex new skill, even if it guarantees frustration and late nights. Choose the honest feedback. Stop giving people the easy answers they want to hear. Offer the honest, difficult, critical feedback that improves the work, knowing you risk temporary unpopularity. Choose the exposure. If public speaking or high-stakes negotiation terrifies you, volunteer to lead the next presentation or handle the toughest client interaction. This is how you forge resilience. This is how you prove your competence to the only person who truly matters, yourself. Every time you choose the difficult path, you send a powerful signal to your subconscious. I am capable. I can handle this. This cumulative self-proof is the bedrock of unstoppable professional confidence. It's not about being a martyr. It's about being an artisan, constantly sharpening your tools. You don't need their permission to grow. You need the discipline to resist the temptation of the easy way out. The test of fire. Every challenge you face is not a random act of misfortune. It is a test of fire. Realize that every single career challenge, the unexpected layoff, the unreasonable client, the failure of a project is not happening to you, but for you. It is a character audit designed to reveal your true nature under duress. When the pressure hits, the person who chooses rage or self-pity reveals a brittle character. The person who chooses calm, rational problem-solving reveals professional virtue. The Stoic realizes the true purpose of the career is not the goal itself. The job is not the goal. The goal is becoming the person who can handle the job. The project manager who faces a crisis and remains poised is not just saving the project. They are training the person they will be 5 years from now, the executive who can handle the fate of the entire company. When difficulty strikes, you must adopt the mindset of a soldier in training. This is a drill. This is a necessary evolution. You have a choice in how you interpret the adversity. Choose to interpret it as a gift, a focused moment of challenge that demands you rise up and use the resilience you've been building. You have now established that discomfort is necessary for growth. You have the mindset of the master craftsman, one who welcomes friction. But all this discipline and character building is meaningless if you forget the most brutal, undeniable, and immediate truth of your professional life. You are operating under a time delusion. The clock is running. Action point in the final challenge. You have reached the end of the first 5 laws. This is where most people stop. This is where they feel the high of learning and then let the discipline fade. Don't be one of them. We didn't just give you philosophy today. We gave you a mandate for professional warfare. You now own the principles, the power of your decision, the discipline over your reaction, the self-sufficiency of your action, the opportunity in your obstacle, the strength in your character. These aren't theories, they are tools. Your work is not finished. In fact, it has only just begun. The second half of this book, Laws 6 through 10, is where we tackle the most disruptive truths: time, reputation, entitlement, and the ultimate test of all success, discipline over motivation. If you found the conviction to sit through this first part, your challenge is simple. Do not lose this momentum. Here is the immediate assignment. You must subscribe to this channel now. This ensures you do not miss the immediate continuation of the training. Like this video to lock in this lesson. This is your commitment to action. Turn on your notification bell. That is your signal that you are ready for the next level of the system. And finally, one decisive instruction. Look at the comments section. Tell me one single specific action you will take in your career tomorrow based on one of the 5 laws you learned today. Do not wait. Decide and declare it now. The final 5 laws, chapter 6 through 10, will drop tomorrow. Your success depends on your preparation. Be ready. We continue the work tomorrow.